Okay, let's jump straight into it. Okay, we're going to do a bit of consolidation. We're going to start with these questions over here. Okay, we're going to see here the question says, determine the value of each of the following by using a calculator. So this is definitely calculator work, right? And the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that our calculators is in degree mode. So make sure that that D at the top of your calculator, the D for degrees, is colored in at the top of your scientific calculator. And again, the instruction says we must round off to 2 decimal places. So make sure that we're doing the right things. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes, and I'm very glad to have you back with us, Abu. Okay, you've got 5 minutes, guys. 1 minute per question. These questions are not that difficult, not at all. All right, pop your favorite emoji in the chat when you're ready. People who are done, how on earth? It's only been 2 minutes. I need your kind of stamina and strength, guys. Wow. Sure. I'm shook. All right, peeps, that's time, though many of you have taken a nap before we got to these answers because you were done so quickly. All right, let's start with the first question. We know we're just going to click on our calculator, just normal sign. Our calculator will open a bracket, and then we'll put 75 in, and then you need to close the brackets and then put in minus cos, open bracket, 42 goes in, close the bracket, and if we put that into our calculator, we should all get 0.22. Okay, simple work. All right, tan 49 over 3, if we put that into our calculator, that should give us 0.38, 0.38. This one over here, it says here 3 cos of x minus 15, where x is 45. So basically what they're telling us to do is just take that 45 and replace it there. Substitute it in there. So what we're going to put into our calculator is just 3 cos of 45 minus 15. And if I put that into my calculator, it's going to give me 2.6. Okay, I know your calculator will give you 3 root 3 over 2, something along those lines. We're not going to accept that answer because the calculator or the instruction specifically says that you must give your answer. Your answer should be given correct to 2 decimal places. This is in surd form. They did not ask for surd form, so we must make sure that we're giving it to them in the way that they want it. All right, so click the SD button and give us that 2.60. It's actually 2.60. Okay. This one over here, remember, our calculator is not going to allow us to put that squared next to the sign. That's not going to happen. What your calculator is going to do is it's going to do that sign, and it's immediately going to open the bracket. It's not going to allow you to put the squared there. So what you need to do is you need to write sine 27, close bracket, and then squared, plus cos, it will open a bracket, 27, close bracket, and then put the squared in. And if you do that, the answer you're going to get there is just 1. Just going to get 1. All right, the last question, 2 cos of 49 over 2 is just going to give us 1,82. That's the final answer that we get there. All right, I'm thinking all of us did okay in this question. It's not a very difficult question at all. Okay, we're going to move on swiftly, guys. Okay, let's look at this over here. Now, I want us to note something. Full marks. Well done. Nice. Okay, true. All right. So, solve for x correct to 1 decimal place. Right. Now, let's have a look at x. Before we go any further, let's have a look at x. Normally, if we were looking at, let's say, for instance, a paper that ma'am had set, one that teacher Coco had set for you, what would be sitting where x is sitting right now? What symbol would be sitting there? Correct, Narisha. A theta would be sitting there. There'd be a theta there. So we'd have sine of theta or beta, correct, Emmanuel, or alpha, one of those, right? And we know that each of these represent what? What do they represent? Your thetas, your betas, your alphas, they all represent angles, correct. And in order for us to calculate for an angle, what do we need to do? Shift angle. Woo-hoo! Yes, hashtag shift angle. There we go. Thank you, Narisha. I love the hashtag. Lovely stuff. All right. So I'm going to give you a chance to do 7.1 and 7.2 and 7.3. And then we'll chat about 7.4 in just a little bit. Okay. First, before we start with these questions, I just want everybody to give me either a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the chat. Have you guys covered these kinds of questions at school with your teachers? Abu, I didn't even finish my statement, but you already said thumbs up. Have you covered these kinds of questions with your teachers? Okay, I've got 2 no's. I've got Buche and Princess saying no. Kulani also says no. Okay, it's a no. It's fine. We can go through them. So let me just ask, okay? Just type in the chat. Would you like me to help or on your own? Or would you like to try them on your own? So either put help or on my own. One of the 2 in the chat. I'm happy to do either. Hello, Vukosi. Okay. Netefatso says, hello, Netefatso. Lovely to meet you. Okay, I'm seeing a few on my own, but other people are saying help. I'm happy to help. Let's take this one. Let's do this one together. However, I'm not going to let a single one of you off the hook with the first one. The first one is way too easy. I'm going to have you guys do 7.1 on your own. Pop your answers in the chat when you're ready, and then we'll talk about question 7.2. All right. Answer 7.1 for me. Give me an answer for X. Good, Emmanuel. You're correct, but check how many decimal points you've given me. Don't cheat the system, sir. What does the question specifically say? We need to follow instructions, sir. Okay, that's it. And for those of you who just wrote 52.9, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not giving it to you because you've forgotten the most important part of it. It's all about reading, peeps. It's all about reading. All right. So we're going to go X is equal to shift sign or arc sign of 0.798. Therefore, X is going to equal to 52.9 degrees. And I'm telling you now, guys, if you are in my class or in my school and I'm marking your paper and you don't put a degree sign there, I'm going to automatically mark it wrong. And I'm going to keep it moving. Okay, I need you guys to differentiate. You need to know when you are calculating for an angle and when you are calculating for a ratio. Because if you don't put that there, we don't know if 52.9 is a ratio, if it's a length, or if it's an angle. You need to do that. You need to put the degrees there. All right. Okay, we're going to pause here for a second, especially for those of you who are like, ma'am, please help us. We're not sure what we're doing. Okay, let's look at these questions. I'm going to pop some questions on the screen quickly, and then we're going to chat about them. All right. Thank you, Narisha. Narisha is officially the class assistant who hands out sweets. So Narisha, that is your job title. All right. Okay, let's start with these questions that we've got over here. We'll come back to those questions that we were just doing. Okay, now, in the question that we just did, let's look at the question that we just did, 7.1. Do you guys notice that the sine and the angle part are on their own? It's just sine something, right? Now, if we look at this question that I've got over here, question D, what do we notice? Do you notice that the sine theta is not on its own? There's a 2 in front of sine theta. How do we get rid of that 2? Yes, absolutely, princess. We divide. Good. We're going to divide by 2 on this side. And whatever I do on the left-hand side, I need to do on the right-hand side as well. So that will cancel out. So the answer for D, I'm going to get sine of theta is equal to 1,2 over 2. Now I can find theta. Yes, we know theta is an angle. We must shift angle. So theta is equal to arc sine of 1,2 over 2. Give me an answer, peeps. Thank you, Abu. Beautiful work. Right, that's it. Absolutely, guys. Good. Abu forgot degrees this time. Another mark lost. 36.9 degrees. Beautiful work, guys. Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay. I'll give you back your mark. It's fine. All right. I want everybody to try E on their own. Give me an answer for E. E is a pretty easy one. We're doing the same thing, the exact same thing we did in D. We're doing that in E. So give me an answer there, please. Not 30. It's not 30, Abu. Yes. Zeketela Fulani, Narisha, Emmanuel. Correct. And I know why you thought it was a special angle. You got the wrong special angle, but you were on the right track. All right. What we're going to do over here is we're going to divide by 3, divide by 3. Right. So I'm going to get cos of theta is equal to 1,5 over 3. Good. Therefore, theta is equal to arc cos of 1,5 over 3, which is technically a half. Therefore, theta is equal to 60 degrees. Okay. Yes. Sine 30 or arc sine of a half would give you 30 degrees. All right. Now let's have a look at G quickly, guys. Okay. G poses more than one problem, right? G definitely poses more than one problem. The 2 in front of sine isn't the only problem. Who can tell me what else do we need to get rid of here? Yes, Emmanuel, absolutely. We need to get rid of the, Omi, be very careful. It's not just 0,4, it is negative 0,4. And I'm glad that Emmanuel's involved the negative, because that means that if this goes over to the other side, and then it will become positive 0,4. So we need to be very careful. Yes, absolutely. All right. So for G, we're then going to have 2 sine theta is equal to positive 0,4. Next step, guys. What's my next step? What am I doing next? Divide by 2. Yes, good. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Now I will have sine of theta is equal to 0,4 over 2. Now find me sine, please. Oh, sine, find me theta, please. Oh. Thank you, Abu. Absolutely. Theta is therefore equal to 11,5 degrees. All right. Okay. So we've now seen how G works. I want you guys to take H. Everyone do H on your own, please. Sure, you guys are really good at these. You're like, fast, fast, fast. I like it. No, Abu, you can't say highbo. You were getting all the answers just now. Come now. Come, let's go. No highbos. Let's move. Good, Emmanuel. Excellent work. Remember, guys, we want to isolate the cos theta. We want cos and the angle isolated. Move everything else around. Move everything else over and above and divide and add and subtract and do all that lovely stuff. Okay. That's it. That's it, Abu. Tristan, try again. Okay. All right, let's tackle this question quickly. I don't want us to run out of time. Absolutely, Theo. Good work. All right, so I know that the first thing I want to move away is going to be this 2. This 2 is problematic, this one. This 2. I'm going to take it over to the other side. I'm going to end up with negative 5 cos theta is equal to, the 2 goes over and becomes negative 2. And then I'm going to divide both sides by -5. Those two will cancel. So now I've got cos of theta is equal to, now the negative and the negative will cancel each other out, and I will have cos of theta is equal to 2/5. Then I will go theta is equal to arc cos of 2/5. Therefore, theta is equal to 66.4 degrees. All right. Please let me know in the chat if there's anything like, ma'am, I'm not sure. Let me know. I'm happy to go over it again. Okay. Okay, let's look at J, because J also gets a little bit tricky. Okay, so remember what ma'am said in the other questions that we were doing. I'm going to do J where D was. Okay. Ma'am said that what we want to isolate is the sine or the ratio and the angle. So in this case, they've already isolated them for us. Do you see how they've already isolated both of them for us? We've only got 0,242 on this side. So in order for me to find theta, I need to shift sine, right? But my angle isn't just theta. My angle is theta minus 30 degrees. So what I will have to do is I will have to go theta minus 30 degrees is equal to arc sine of 0,242. Right, give me an answer for that arc sine side. Give me an answer for this side, please, peeps. Emmanuel says 14 degrees. I agree. Yes. Right. So what I've actually got now is I've got theta minus 30 equals 14 degrees. Now what? What do I do now? Good. It's a linear equation. Yes, Abu. So we're going to take the negative 30 degrees over to the other side. That's it. Correct. Therefore, that's it, Abu. Theta is equal to 14 plus 30, which will give us 44. Emmanuel lost the mark because he didn't say degrees. I'm gonna take a mark away from Emmanuel for not saying degrees. Thank you, Ziketelo. Lovely. All right, let's look at K. K is going to work in the exact same way, right? Do you see how they've already isolated cos and the degree? This whole thing over here, this is the degree. So guys, what are we actually going to be looking for? Arc cos of what? Arc cos of? I'm going to go 3 theta minus 10 degrees is equal to arc cos of, what do I put in my bracket after clicking shift? That's it, correct. We must put 0. Arc cos of 0. Okay. Find me an answer, peeps. 90, thank you, Gift. Hello, Gift. Right, I get 90 degrees. So now I've got 3 times theta minus 10 is equal to 90 degrees. Can I leave you guys here to find me an answer for theta, please? Find me an answer for theta. Yes. Ziketelo, yes, you can. You can distribute that 3, but only after you've gotten rid of the cos part, so that we're dealing with angles on both sides. Okay. Pop your answers in the chat for me, please. Well done, Emmanuel. That's it, Nonka. Okay. Good stuff, peeps. All right. So just like everyone's suggesting, I'm going to distribute that 3 in. So I'm going to end up with 3 theta minus 30 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. And then I'm going to take that negative 30 degrees over to the other side. Gift, you forgot your degrees, so you're going to lose a mark there. Then I will have 3 theta is equal to 90 plus 30 will give us 120 degrees. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3, divide by 3. Therefore, theta is equal to 40 degrees. All right. Okay, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. How are we feeling about these kinds of questions? Have we got it, guys? You can, Emmanuel, and it's going to give you the exact same answer. So if you divide by 3, you're still going to get the 30, and then you're going to add the 10, which is still going to give you 40. All right. You can do that. Okay. In fact, I did that the first time when I saw the question. So what Emmanuel's actually saying is he did this. Emmanuel did this. Let me show you guys what Emmanuel did. Emmanuel went divide by 3, divide by 3. And then he had theta minus 10 degrees is equal to 30 degrees. And then he moved that negative 10 over to the other side. Therefore, theta is equal to 40. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing this, Emmanuel. It's sound mathematics. You're allowed to do that. All right. Okay. That being said, it looks like you guys have a gist of what's happening. I want you guys to go ahead and answer questions 7.2, 7.3, 7.4. You've got 3 minutes. Go for it. Okay, remember, we're solving for x, but we could easily just replace x with theta. Same. Over here, guys, be careful. This is 2 theta or 2x, not just theta, 2 theta. Okay, so be very careful of those as we go. We'll go see for which one? For the first one? For 7.2? No, my darling. Let's check again. Check again. Yes, princess. Yes, it is. Keratile, not quite, my darling. Okay, let's have a chat quickly about some of these questions because I feel like we're all getting a little lost in it. Okay, I'm hearing somebody unmuted. Please make sure you're muted, guys. Okay. Abu, yes. All right, so first thing we're going to do over here, guys, is we're going to get rid of that +1. That +1 is problematic, right? So that +1 needs to go over to the other side and it's going to become -1. So I'm going to end up with 2 tan x is equal to 3 minus 1 will give me 2. So I'm then going to divide by 2, divide by 2. Those two will cancel. I'm going to end up with tan x is equal to 2 divided by 2 will give me 1, right? Therefore, x will need to equal to arctan or shift tan of 1, and x will then be equal to 45 degrees if we put that into a calculator. Correct. Okay, now in this question over here, the 2x, the whole of 2x is my angle. So the only thing I need to get rid of is that 4 in front of the cos, right? So I'm going to divide by 4, divide by 4. Therefore, I've got cos 2x is equal to 2 over 4 is the same as a half, right? To find x or 2x, I'm going to take the arc cos of a half, or the arc, even if you take the arc cos of 2 over 4, it's going to give you that 2x is equal to, arc cos of a half is 60 degrees. Okay, and then to find just x, I need to divide by 2. Divide by 2, that's a Ziket. Hello, you forgot the degrees, so you lost the math. Therefore, x is equal to 30 degrees. I took a mark away, Ziketelo, you forgot to say degrees. I see, Omi, I see. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I'm glad you're getting it right, though. You're getting it right. Okay, in this last question, we want to isolate that. We want to isolate sine of x minus 10. So we need to divide both sides by 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. No worries, Ziketelo. We're learning it here so that we don't make that mistake in our actual tests and exams. Right, so sine of x minus 10 is equal to 1 over 3. That means that x minus 10 degrees is equal to arc sine of 1 over 3. I know, I must take them away, Narisha. I can't just leave them there. They're not for free. Okay, therefore x minus 10 is equal to 19, comma, and Emmanuel, and Fulani, you've both missed it. Please do not forget instruction. Instruction says round off to 1 decimal place. So don't come here with your own rules, guys. They're going to take a mark away. They're going to take a mark away. So this then becomes 19,5 degrees. Okay. Then that negative 10 degrees will move over to the other side, and therefore x is equal to 29,5 degrees. All right. I know it happens. It does. It does. I'm teaching you a very valuable lesson, Abu. I'm teaching you to be very, very OCD, like be very pedantic about things so that, no, Emmanuel, it's not. It's not. Okay. Half the question or half the problem is reading the question. Okay. Half the problem is following instruction. All right. You would get, yes. No, actually, as a matter of fact, you would get all the marks. It's just your final answer would be wrong, Narisha. So you would write 47 commas and then we just stop marking there. So everywhere else you'd get a mark, but you would lose a mark. Imagine losing a mark for something that's tiny, teeny tiny. Let's rather not. All right, here's our next challenge, peeps. 5.3. Okay, in each of the following diagrams, calculate x. Now, when we come to diagrams, we have steps. Somebody remind me of the steps. What's step number 1? Label, absolutely. It's label. What is step number 2? Okay. Good, Emmanuel. It's the have versus the want, right? And step number 3, find if it's so or ka or toa. In other words, find our equation. Find which equation we're going to use. And just for good measure, yes, that's it, Princess. I'm just going to help you guys out, and I'm going to write so ka toa on the side here. I technically shouldn't help you because you're not going to get it in a test or an exam. Nobody's going to write so ka toa for you. Yeah, all right. Gift. Let me show you when we get to that part what have versus want means. Okay. I will show you when we get there. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody, you guys, you've got 3 minutes to answer questions, both questions. All right. And then we'll chat, Gift. I'll tell you exactly what all of that stuff means. All right, peeps, that's time. Let's have a look at the answers quickly. All right, let's start with number 1. We're going to start with labeling. So we label in terms of our angle. So I know that this side over here is my adjacent, that 10 over there is my opposite, and x over here is my hypotenuse. That's step number 1, done. Right, step number 2, and gift, watch. Okay, what do I have? What has the drawing given us? What do we have? We have an angle, a 35-degree angle, and we also have the opposite side. That's what we have. What do we want according to our drawing? X, we want x, and x is the hypotenuse. And how that helps us, gift, is that now we can tell that we're going to use O and H. And according to SOHCAHTOA, O and H is sine. That's where the equation part comes in. So now we know we're going to use sine of theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. And now we can just substitute in. All right, so we're going to go sine 35 degrees is equal to opposite, which is 10 over hypotenuse, which is x. And then we're going to cross multiply. We're going to cross multiply. That's it. Then I'm going to end up with x times sine 35 is equal to 1 times 10 is just 10. I want x on its own, so I'm going to divide both sides by sine 35, divide by sine 35. Those two will cancel. Therefore, x is equal to 10 over sine 35 will give us 17.43. Is it 0.44? Is it 0.43? I get 0.43. Is it degrees? Should we put degrees there? Should I put degrees? Nope. Nope. The x that we're looking for over here is a side. It's my hypotenuse side. So there's no need for me to write degrees. Okay. Good. It's a side and not an angle. Right. So when we get to this question over here, again, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to label in terms of an angle. Now, this side over here is my adjacent. That side over there is my opposite. And the side across from a 90-degree angle, that is the hypotenuse. Right. We're done labeling. Step 1 done. Let's have verse 1. I have the opposite and I have the adjacent. I want x. What is x? in the context here. What is x exactly? What does x represent? Theta or an angle. Good, it's the angle. Right, it's the angle. That's what we want. And we know whenever we need to find an angle, we must click shift. We must shift angle, right? We must shift angle. Now, I know that I've got O and A. That's OA. That means tan. That's it, Narisha, absolutely. Tan of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. So we're just going to substitute. That means tan of my angle X is equal to 5 over 8. But now I want X, that's my angle. So X is equal to arctan of 5 over 8. Therefore, X is equal to 32. That's it. Abu, remember just in time. 32 degrees. That's it. Theo, check your answer again. Let's have a look at that answer one more time. Okay. All right. Easy marks, guys. Easy marks. Free marks. Narisha, you've been summoned. You've been summoned in the chat. Come, class assistant. Don't forget to give out sweets. All right. Okay, here's our next doozy, because it really is a doozy, guys. Mwah. I love it, Narisha. You're doing the Lord's work. Good job. Omi, they should. Okay, and I'll explain. If your teacher says they will never give us something this easy, yes, they have to. Okay, because the way that we set any maths paper, it has to have certain types of questions in it. So there's always that one question that you know, that one kid, and I don't mean to sound disparaging because I am a teacher, but we all have that one learner in our grade who never studies for anything. They never study. They're just at school for vibes. You know that child. That one. That one. We have to accommodate for that child. We must accommodate for that child. So we have to ask at least one easy question for that kid. Yes, the one who sits in the corner comes to class without even, sometimes they don't even bring a bag. They don't bring a pen, they don't bring a paper, a pencil, nothing. Sometimes they just come, one man, they're just breathing. We need to ask a question for that one. Yes, they even sleep. That one. That's the one. All right, let's have a look at this question in 5.4. It's very important that we understand what we've been given over here. All right, I want us to note that this question says that calculators may not be used in this question. So everybody put your calculators away. No calculators. Okay. Abu, you wouldn't survive at my school. We're very strict at my school. You wouldn't be able to do that. Okay. Okay, don't stress, guys. Let's see what we've been given. Let's see what we've been given. It says here, we've been given 13 cos theta is equal to 5. Oh, 13 cos theta plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. And theta is in between. Do we see how it says theta is in between 180 and 360 degrees? Are we seeing it? Right. Now, let's look at question 5.4.1. It says, draw a diagram in the correct quadrant representing the given information. Clearly indicate X, Y, and R. Okay. And theta in your diagram. Right. So let's start by analyzing, guys, because it's not that difficult, I promise. Come on, man. Come on. Okay, there is my pen. It needs to come back. Come back to life. Good. All right. Good. We know when they say to us, draw something in the correct quadrant, we need to draw a what? What's the first thing we need to draw? What are we drawing? Cartesian plane. Absolutely, Emmanuel. Yes, we're going to draw a Cartesian plane. So everyone, let's start there. Let's start by drawing a Cartesian plane. Okay. And then we're going to label, we've got x, y, negative x, negative y, right? And they want us to draw this in the correct quadrant. Now, the problem that we're having here is that they haven't given us a coordinate. They haven't told us that this is the x value, this is the y value, so we know which quadrant it lies in. But here's something we do know. We know that this is 0 degrees, this is 990 degrees, this is 180 degrees, and 360 degrees is over here. Now, our question over here says theta lies in between 180 and 360. Which two quadrants are in between 180 and 360? Right? Correct, Theo. It's going to be quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. But guys, we still have a problem. We don't have... Oh, okay. Come on now. All right. We still don't have coordinates. But here's what we know, guys. Here's what we know. We've got this. We've got this. So we're going to use this. We're going to reconfigure that to get what we want. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, I've got 13 cos theta is plus 5 is equal to 0. I'm going to take absolutely everything else and move it over to the other side. And yes, Emmanuel, chef's kiss. We want cos theta on its own. And we've just done these questions, right? We've just done these exact questions. I want everybody to move everything over to the other side and give me cos theta equals, thank you, Fulani. We're going to take the positive 5 over to the other side. And then we're going to get 13 cos theta is equal to negative 5. And then we're going to divide by 13 on both sides. Divide by 13, divide by 13. Right. So that tells me that cos of theta is equal to negative 5 over 13. Okay. Now, that tells us a couple of things, right? What do we know about cos of theta? Cos is what? What is cos of theta? If we don't know that it's negative 5, according to SOHCAHTOA, cos is what over what? Adjacent over hypotenuse, or x over r. Correct, Emmanuel. It is adjacent over hypotenuse, or we can say cos of theta is x over r. So now we know that this cos of theta, this is actually our hypotenuse. This is our hypotenuse. And this negative 5, remember our hypotenuse can never be negative. It's a length. So this means the negative 5 part is where we need to draw our x value, which means that this exact equation is going to fall into quadrant 3. It's going to be over there where this part is negative 5. Zeketelo, if we put it in quadrant 4, if I put it in quadrant 4, would my x be negative? Would my 5 be negative if I put it on this side? No, it wouldn't. Because on this side, my x's are positive. Then I would get positive 5 over 13 and 13 over here. And that wouldn't work. So we need a negative 5. Good. So now they want us to find, according to the sum, they want us to find x. We found x. We know what x is. Our x value is negative 5. Now we need to find y. And just as Abu says, we're going to use papyrus. I believe he said papyrus, x and y. We know that the distance from here to there is 13. Yes, he said papyrus. So we're going to go with papyrus. He means Pythagoras. So we're going to use Pythagoras to find the value of y. However, what do we know about all the y's in the third quadrant, guys? Correct. Yo, Emmanuel, you are on the money today. Beautiful, Kulani. That's it, Theo. Even though our Pythagoras calculation is going to give us a positive answer, we must give it as a negative answer because all the y values in the third quadrant are negative. All right, pop your answers for y in the chat, please. Thank you, Emmanuel. Beautiful. Okay, let's do a little Pythagoras. I'm going to move over to the side over here. I'm going to get -5 all squared plus y squared is equal to 13 squared. That means that y squared is equal to 13 squared is 169. And this is going to become 25. -5 all squared is 25. And when I take it over to the other side, it's going to become minus. So this is going to be 169 minus 25. And to find y, we're just going to take the square root. So y is equal to the square root of 169 minus 25 is 144. Therefore, y is equal to 12. We know that the distance from there to there is 12. However, y is in this quadrant. Therefore, y is actually equal to -12. Okay. Not a scary question at all. Do we see that? It's not that scary. We just need to think a little bit outside the box. We need to read the information we've been given. Okay, good. So we found all of these, right? Let's talk about where theta is, because they also want us to find theta. Where is theta, peeps? Where do we find theta? Remember, our angle theta always starts at what degree? Our angle theta starts at the origin or at 0, right? We must start at 0, where 0 is. So our angle theta is actually that angle, that whole angle there. That whole angle is theta. All right, we must follow the instruction we've been given. Okay, correct, Ziketelomwa. Beautiful representation. We start at 0 degrees and we move anti-clockwise. Nicely done. All right, now the question says, now use the diagram to evaluate sine of theta. Do they want the angle theta in this question? In the next question, do they want the angle theta? No. What do they want? Correct. Yo, Emmanuel. Narisha, you need to give Emmanuel all the sweets because he's just doing the things, man. He's just doing the things. Right. He's just, yes, he cooked, for sure. They want the ratio. And we know that sine of theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. And we just need to use this. We know that this side is -12. We know that our reference angle is over there. There's our reference angle. If we label according to our reference angle, this is going to be our adjacent side. That over there is going to be our opposite. And this 13 over here is our hypotenuse. Okay. So what is sine of theta, peeps? Sine of theta is equal to what over what? According to the diagram, Abu. That's it, Fulani, absolutely. Sine of theta is equal to -12 over 13. And that's the end of today's lesson.